I am Eliza, a storyteller from London with a deep connection to Pembrokeshire. I have been suffering since COVID from repetitive illnesses and disillusion with the big city life and needed to smell the clean air and come back to wilder lands. To me, the power of nature there has always appeared as something miraculous, inspirational, mythical and profoundly healing. I bought a bike and called her Wilder and crossed into the Western Peninsula. I lived in a shed, no phone, lots of writing paper, spiders galore, a moped, a wild flag, a partner who wore a wizard's hat, and a collared dove whose wing had broken. From London, I escaped to Pembrokeshire in search of something bigger than myself. I am not religious, but I genuinely believe the mystical exists as both a projection and as a place, a feeling evoked, an interaction with something else, an abstraction of ego. Many have called it a thin place, a term that comes from Celtic Christianity, which believes that every aspect of life is infused with the divine, especially nature. They believe thin places to be locations or moments in the year's cycle where the veil between the world and the spiritual realm diminishes. I have been going to this western wilderness for a while now, because it is my mother's home, and my sister's home, and her son's home, and I find it hard to deny the sense and feeling of the numinous, of the thin place. I think every city dweller will agree we need these spaces. We are living in a time of unprecedented disconnection to the natural world. We live in a system of infinite growth and extraction from the great outdoors, and I feel the accessible materialism of modernity as both distracting and tempting, so when it becomes overwhelming, I have to leave.
All and all is with you before you up and leave. Have a great time here. Dom, 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 dom. At Pembrokeshire Port. Next stop. Pembrokeshire Port is whatever you're up to. Have a splendid time. Many thanks.
I have captured my time within this sentimental thin place with my words and this film. I brought a close creative friend to the edge of this peninsula, and she made a flag as an artistic reaction to the numinosity felt here. The colours, the textures. We spun and walked it through the wind to all the places we felt the thin place most. Meet the flag on its journey and move. Be still or bend away from the metropolis of life. Diverse corners, sharp and tempestuous, where there is twice purified air, once from Ireland and twice sweetened by the Atlantic ozone. Outposts of limestone, redstone, bluestone, anthracite, builders of the dolmens, solemn in their standing, rising megalithic cromlechs, abounding the wild sanctuary of this salty romance. Buzzard hawks spiral through the south coast, swooping through the mineral dust of the Solarian ghosts who hide under lichen-crowned rocks. Look to the twin hills and white-tide races of the bitches and the whelps, where the water pours ferociously through the north-going, rising tide. Beds of shale tell stories of the reincarnation religions who still drink meady madness with the druids in animal skin, or the Irish pirate Liskey, who shouted at the unmovable rocks, sputtering out Welsh cakes from his gold fillings. The paper's shape changes under the salty language, and the sea-bent trees get used to their bend. Sub-oceanic wings streamline into the island's velvet heather, noisy nocturnal shearwaters on Skoma Island, descending on the busy crowd of puffins who bend their backs to the glittering blue backs of robed priests who hunt a special kind of silence within the land of multicoloured rocks. On the inlet of Solva, a deep tidal harbour shows the drowned valley of the stream through a bare sunlit glen. Primroses meet razorbills, foxgloves rising between oyster catchers, kingcups doze in the spring. Fulmar petrels ogle into the tall grass. In a coastal town, you are never far away from a weaver harnessing patterns of the wind and matching the colours of the golden fields of furs. The bull seals patrol the Ramsey Sound while the newly fluffy white calves lay awaiting their wet coat sunlining on the beaches. The beaches are the features for the thinking sinking into the salt lapping from one bay to another. As the coastline stones parade their technicolor, we sweep up to the north, where the dramatic ocean roars between turquoise stillness. Up there is always permission to wander through cobbled farms and take note of the interlaced lambs, fir, gates, seven saints make their mouth-parting chants of pine and fish. In Fishguard, one can see the beautiful hanging woods and slopes with an upstream valley traversing into undisturbed badgers' homes. Can you see the Wicklow Mountains of Ireland from Dinas Head? Or pincer the prehistoric tracks from Strumblehead to the Carnegie Rock of Angels? Time in the church in the Coombe of Coombe, which was eaten away during a Sunday evening service, feeds sand-mapping turquoise inlets. The speckle-faced Kerryhill sheep manage their daily intake of corn on their wild lawn next to their western seabed. Newport Market Street has a cacophony of busy sounds reaching until the Felindre milk-producing farmers and the horses in the shading of the enchanted woods. A whirly dervish of sweet Auburn is happening outside under holy light. The surviving stone farmhouses sow seeds upon radon rock undercurrent. Mortar and latterly sand cement mountain and sea under a wooded valley, the Preseli hills of black stone scattered cliffs, 300 species of bird and 100 of fish, all in the windy contours of this space, leaving a trace of seaweed lace, guiding the pilgrims into this place. Slopes of moss and oak, hedgerows of Echium lagoons, a smooth glass of tawny owls on gorse and bracken, garden warbler snatching looks at heron gulls, chips from the shed in the haunt of Porthgain. There are love-knotted patterns in the church courtyard, and Nevin's yew weep the red blood since Viking plunder, entrancing the modern ambler. North of Molly Grove there is exposed slate on shingle beaches, caves, arches, and syncline. We come back to St. David's Cathedral, lying low, unsuspected by passing ships in a majestic valley. There is a sap of kings, noblemen, bishops, Vikings, and Normans' eyes melting onto the corner of the stainless expanse. Destruction and repair, and tombs enshrined with dull purplish rock from cliff quarries. The derelict bishop's parish stands distant from the past, awaiting reinvention. How can you not be transfixed, awestruck, all feeling, inspired, tired of the big city, the race, chase, and enthralled in the ever-changing landscape, light of the Pembrokeshire site.
I knew you were my best.